Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and today I have 4 very quick, super fun emergency cards for you. These are using the free printable sentiments that I release every month. We're using primarily Kit 100 Totally Booked, which is a book themed and moody kit, but I want to make some light and bright cards for you today. And then we'll do one card using Kit 100, our 100th anniversary 100 page plant themed kit called Oops, I Wet My Plants. We're going to do the fastest flip through ever of Kit 104 Totally Booked. This came out at the beginning of this month and there's tons and tons of free sentiments. So I will link for you down below to the video where that kit was released and Kit 100 where that was released. I will link into Patreon. There's a post in my Patreon which you can join for free that has an upgraded version of that kit you can download for free. If you don't know how to join, I will link a video tutorial on how to join for free right below that. I will also link over into Patreon. I have a shop. If you don't want to pay for membership, but you want the entire kit, you can actually just buy the kit. So all of those things will be linked below. I love this scripty background paper. We're going to use a scripty stamp later in this video because I wanted a different color palette, but there's something similar already in the kit. And then I do have paid membership. My higher tiers of membership get tons of bonus pages. They have searchable databases with direct downloads, so you don't have to try to go like back to videos and download things. That top tier also gets all of my images and background papers and sentiments as digital stamps. So they're image files with a transparent background. Kit 104 was also the first kit where I offered printable, solid colored paper that would coordinate really beautifully with the kit. I just didn't have a lot of muted tones that matched. So that's an option for you as well, along with a bunch of bonus sentiments and images. But today we're using dies. This is the layered book set from Waffle Flower. It's been out for a long time, so I already had a bunch already made. Then the Inquisitive Seagulls and the Mosaic background die. The Seagulls, again, are from Waffle Flower. That Mosaic die, this is probably one of my most used dies. It's just a great texture background. It looks a little bit like wallpaper if you dress it up right. It's so good. It's from scrapbook.com. And I am just going to add little dots of glue. I don't need it everywhere. I just don't want it bowing up. And that's it. And I'm going to layer that onto an A2 panel. I like to do a tone on tone here. For my books, I know a lot of you have said, please keep in the assembly of the die cuts, but they're super quick and easy. They're just 2 pieces. There's like the pages are white and then the book itself is a solid color. So not hard. I don't think you probably need to see like a detailed how-to. The Seagulls also really fast. I love dies like this. I know I show a lot of things that are lots and lots of layers, but there's something really refreshing if I've been at work all day, coming home and putting stuff together that isn't that complicated. I don't have to think very hard about it. You know, it just feels fun. So I started by putting my 2.5 by 1.5 inch sentiment mat in the top right corner. I tried to keep an even margin on the top and right. And then that way, when I placed my seagull, I could get my spacing so that everything felt balanced. I've got something heavy in the top right, something heavy in the bottom left. And then this book was tricky. I could have put it directly in front of the seagulls, centered, but the pages kind of disappear and the balance felt wrong. So I went off center, like he had sort of like pushed it aside for a second to talk to us. And I used whatever gray ink was left over on my blending brush just to add a little bit of contrast between the seagull and the pages. That blending brush is my favorite small brush. It's from Trinity Stamps. It's called the Shading Sidekick. And the brushes are super fluffy, so you can get a light color very, very easy. I'm going to cut apart my sentiments. I have been releasing rectangle sentiments like this for 3 years-ish. I just connect the bottom and top tick marks and I keep the header intact so I can rotate and still see the tick marks on the side. I like to release my sentiments in this size and then 1 3/4 inch circles as often as possible. So if I have this card that's going to use kind of a goofy sentiment, right? It's like, read books, be kind, stay weird. Well, maybe that isn't going to fit the person I'm giving it to. I just wanted to say happy birthday. I know I have happy birthday sentiments in that exact same size that I can swap in and just glue right over the top, though I used removable adhesive to make that even easier. Friends, that was card number 1. We're less than 5 minutes in. For card 2, we're using that same layered books die. And then Paws Up. This is another waffle flower die set that makes like a cat's paw. And then this stitched stripe card front panel from Concord and Ninth. A lot of the supplies I'm using today are older, and I just reached for what felt like fun. I apologize for that. The Seagulls, there's only 1 or 2 left at scrapbook.com. I'm not sure about the paws. The stitched card front, but it's really about a method here. It's about making sure I'm balancing the weight of the sentiment with whatever else I'm adding, right? On the last one, I had a heavy sentiment on the top right, heavy seagull on the bottom left. Well, this one, I have my sentiment in the top left. And so I'm trying to make sure that the right is balanced, even though the paw is coming up from the left, right? So I have the book. The book is going to give me a little bit of weight over there, but I'm actually going to create a stack of books on the bottom right, just like the last one, so that the bottom right balances with the sentiment on the top left. I love these rectangle sentiments. I love how it lets the sentiment be like really prominent on my card. That's maybe the most important part to me, but it is big. It can be hard to balance the weight of that. And so I really was sort of playing with that through these first couple of cards. There's another couple of dies in that cat die set. You can make a striped arm. You can have the paw going the other way. So you see like the little pads of the fingers, but it felt visually more correct to have the paw going this way. Then I'm going to add an extra layer onto my sentiment. So the sentiments for the rectangles are 2 1/4 by 1 1/4 inches. And normally I use a 2 1/2 by 1 1/2 inch mat, but here that green layer is right in between 2 3/8 by 1 3/8. I will say I also have a die set I designed for Trinity Stamps. It's called Emergency Card Essentials die set number 1 that has a scallop border or mat layer that you can cut out for those rectangles. It has lots of layering circles and some other like card making basics that can help you dress that sentiment up or that sentiment size up as you're crafting. I ended up cutting down that light blue panel by 1/4 inch. So it was 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall, and I just added it onto an A2 panel that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and that finishes up card number 2, you guys. It was so quick. None of those dies took more than 2 pieces. I know. For card number 3, I have some books I've already put together and they're not available anymore. I'm super sorry about that. We'll talk through it. This is the Tote Bag Die set from Hero Arts, and it has this amazing like background builder stamp set that I meant to use and then forgot to use. I'm sorry, but it's super cool. And then there's 2 sort of add-on Stampin' Cuts, Tiny Treasures and Totes the Best with sentiments and charms and things that you can add on there as well. As soon as I saw this bag, I knew I wanted to shove it full of books. I am an audiobook junkie, and even though all my books are on my phone, I love the look of a physical book, and I'm an English professor, right? Like I'm gonna nerd out about all the books and book shapes. For the 2 books that are on there, you could absolutely just cut rectangles so we don't really see the pages or the spine. That's okay. And make them decorative. We're going to make a 3rd book using basic supplies. So use whatever you have. But I just thought this tote bag was a really great way to stretch a bunch of our emergency kits, because I'm going to use one of the tote bag dies to cut out one of the circle sentiments right where that pocket is, right there. I'm making sure the pocket's going to fit, that I didn't get the straps too close together. And then I'm going to cut around just 1 more chapter. The pocket is about 1 1/2 by 1 1/2, and my sentiments are typically 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, but this usually works, right? 1 1/2 is usually still okay. So I cut this pocket out of just some printer paper to make sure I could get it centered. And then I'll pop the die in like a puzzle piece, and I'll know that everything is going to look absolutely amazing. And all I have to do is glue it on. You could do this with any of my kits. I'm thinking about the cat kit or the dog kit, 2 separate kits that came out in the fall. And then you could use one of like the ephemera pieces to have a dog popping out of the tote bag or something like that. I just think it would be absolutely adorable. I told you there'd be a scripty background, and here it is. This is the scripty Birdsong or Birdsong script that came out from Hero Arts not that long ago. And I think I've already used it 6 times in videos. It's just really great visual texture. And I'm going to stamp that on some light green cardstock with a slightly darker green ink. I didn't press quite well enough in some spots, so I am going to do a second layer, but you wouldn't have to. This would also be beautiful heat embossed, right? But if you don't have this stamp and you still want a scripty background, one of the options that's in the printable kit is just black text on a white background. So you could run your solid colored cardstock through your printer and just print that text on there and get a very similar look and feel. I'm arranging my books inside my tote bag and I'm totally overthinking it. Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm trying to like hold them still and get them exactly in the right spot. It doesn't you just put them in there and you use wet glue and then you wiggle them until it looks right. And I want another book that's going to go right in the middle. Also, while we're talking about books, if you have a favorite book, especially in the fantasy genre, I want to know about it. Put it in the comments below. I have cut a small rectangle from Emergency Card Essentials die set number 1. And then I call these unicorn sparkles. They're like little dots and twinkle spots that come from Emergency Card Essentials number 2. And I'm going to decorate this little rectangle. I could have used a different size, but you're only going to see the top corner anyway. And once that's done, I can sort of glue that back behind my other books. Since I asked you for a book recommendation, I will tell you my oldest son and I are currently reading Percy Jackson. And I just finished the Spellbound series. There are 4 series in the same world that I really, really enjoyed and thought they were great. I think there's another one coming out maybe in May, so I'm looking forward to that. I added 1mm foam on the back of my little bag here, anywhere that I didn't have books, just to keep everything nice and level. And then the wet glue lets me wiggle it in case I put it down in the wrong spot the first time, which happens a lot, but I got pretty lucky here. I also cut this panel down by 1/8 of an inch on the side and on the bottom, and then I'm going to layer it onto a darker green piece that's been in my scrap bin for ages. I stenciled on the other side, but the stencil was upside down, and so the die didn't work. And then I die cut some pieces out of it, and now it's a card panel. It's great. And we're using what we have. That is card number 3. For card number 4, I'm using the My Monthly Superhero Kit, and there's a smaller version that's just My Monthly Hero that has these really whimsical plants and sentiments, coordinating dies. And then there's this one where you can sort of stamp the pots. You guys, I had a plan to make like a whole huge video making tons of cards with this kit. It's got solid colored cardstock, and my hand has just been bothering me a bunch this month, so I didn't get to it. But I wanted to share this with you. I just felt like it was a super great companion for Oops, I Wet My Plants Kit 100 that came out. Was that in April? March? I think March. I don't know what day it is. But so there's the kit, and then the upgraded kit has the watering can, and then this amazing die set with this huge face that we'll use today. And I love the font on these sentiments. Anywhere you have like the R goes underneath the I don't know. I love it. It's so, so good. So I wanted to share it with you. We'll use just this die set today. And just a heads up, these are only available until the 27th of April. So if you're interested in My Monthly Hero or My Monthly Superhero, this plant kit, grab it right away. They were still available. Nothing had sold out when I checked this morning, but apologies. I really wanted to make more with this for you because I think it pairs so beautifully with our Oops, I Wet My Plants kit. So I am just assembling my little berries, florals, I don't know what those are, on on my tall stem, and then I'll put my centers together. I only need one, but they come in pairs, so I will just tuck the other one into the pocket where I keep my dies. And then I wanted to add a little bit of ink blending. This sparkling berry is a little darker than I needed. Like it's a punch of color. And so again, those Trinity Stamps Shading Sidekick brushes are really soft and fluffy. And it's a great way to get light color, even if your ink is maybe a little darker than you would otherwise choose. I don't have a darker pink in that trio. That is the lightest color, even though she's a lot. She's a lot. So I layered the first 2 pieces together without dry fitting everything and realized that this last piece didn't fit into the gaps that I had. So I just cut it, right? I'm not going to let some flower die cut boss me around. I'll make it fit. It's not the way you craft. I hope that's the way you craft, right? Just however it feels good, whatever works. These are cards that I really was making kind of in free time. I was having so many problems earlier this month that this was the first chance I'd gotten sort of without hand paint to sit down and do some crafting and make things that had been marinating in my head for a really long time. So I hope you like them. I loved this set. I have a piece of pattern paper that comes from Kit 100, that same plant kit, and I want to create a table to set my vase on. And so I have this wonderful wood grain die set from Hero Arts, and it's awesome. It cuts all these etched lines. It really looks like wood grain. It does mean you have to be a little careful with it, because as soon as you start cutting pieces off of it, you've got sort of extra pieces that are no longer quite attached. All the same, I save all my scraps. I keep this in my file for scene building, right? My favorite supplies for scene building are this wood grain die set, the Mosaic die that we were using earlier. I think it's great for like wallpaper look, or you can use pattern paper like we're doing here. The Puffy Cloud stencil from Trinity Stamps, which I think makes absolutely incredible clouds, and the stencil's huge, so you get lots of different looks with just one stencil. So super, super versatile. And I just keep those sort of separated. I know a lot of times we hear creators talking about how they separate everything by brand. And I do that some, especially for brands where like I'm on their design team. But there are certain things that to me are really just everyday supplies, and it doesn't make sense to keep them, you know, over with their brand if I have to get up and go get that. So I like to keep those kind of in my most used drawer under scene building. I'm going to keep this really simple. There were so many options for what you could put in this vase, but I wanted again to create that visual balance. The vase is super heavy on the bottom, and then we have our sort of florals and leaves coming up. There is a beautiful spot to put a circle. I thought about a 2-inch circle sentiment sort of centered on the right, but I don't really like centered, right? I'd rather it be asymmetrical than perfectly symmetrical. And so I'm going to use a rectangle sentiment for this one as well, and we're going to have it overlap this vase. I had actually just used my magnet to hold that vase down to make it really easy to tuck the stems as far down in there as I needed without worrying about things being tight or things not fitting. And I'll set that aside while I work on this sentiment. I want a little scrap in the top right because it's overlapping 2 other layers of cardstock, and then it sits a little more evenly. And we're going to create sort of balanced weight at the bottom and then this lovely asymmetrical top, basically. This one I cut a little smaller. It is 2 3/8 by 1 3/8. And then I have a whole bunch of my plant sentiments already cut out, and I will add that on there as well. And that finishes up card number 4. My friends, I hope that this was inspiring for you. If you are looking for these kits, I am linking back to the original videos below. They have all the details about how to get the free kits, the upgraded free kits, the paid kits, all the things. I will link to where you can purchase the kits if you'd rather just purchase them without membership. I hope that this shows you ways to create balance cards using any of the sentiments from any of the kits. I've also linked to my emergency card kit playlist below. Friends, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.